Yeah, good afternoon, students. I'm here once again, and in our last two classes, we have been able to talk about the concepts of autism as well as the, the name, the members of cult groups here. That was in our first class. In our second class, we uh, talked about the origin, the formation and origin of cultism in Nigeria, where we talked about how a group of 7 students that was led by Professor Wole Soyinka established the very first cult group in the tertiary institution in Nigeria at the University College Ibadan. The University College Ibadan is known today as University of Ibadan. In 1953, established the pirate confraternity, and ever since that time, we've had a kind of surge in the number of cult groups and cult related activities in our various tertiary institutions up to today, and we all know the attendant consequences of being a member of cult group in Nigeria. And like I said in our last class, this particular topic is to sensitize, is to educate the students about the consequences of being a member of a cult group. So inshallah today we are moving to the topic for week 3 and week 4 in the scheme of work for the third term. Inshallah today our topic is on reasons for establishing and joining cult group, as well as consequences of cultism in Nigeria. Now, as we have seen on the board, we said the following are some of the reasons for establishing and joining cult groups. They are, number 1, home. So inshallah, we're going to take them one after the other and explain why are they the reasons why cult group is established or people join cult groups in the tertiary institution today. So number 1, like I said, is home. The second reason is influence of peer group. The third reason is social decadence. Then the fourth one is about social identity. The number 5 reason why cultism is established today is parental neglect. Now let us look at them one after the other. How and why home is seen or is regarded as one of the reasons why cult group is established in tertiary institutions today. Now, as we must have seen from experience and in different mediums that we must have listened to or can watch today, some homes are in disarray. Some homes, parents are not together. Some homes, we have parents that are idol worshippers. Some homes, we have parents where they don't even see them as a religious people, especially the home where the father and the mother are also members of cult group. So automatically, you cannot, they remove or detach the child from copying what the father is doing. In fact, from experience, we've seen that some parents are even the one, making their children to join a cult group, because that is exactly what they believe in, and that is exactly what they do. So automatically, whatever you learn from home, whatever you must have seen the parents doing at home, the child or the children from that particular family will always want to exhibit such when they get to the larger society. And that is the why you see that many of them today, according to research, they join cult group or they establish cult group as a result of what they have seen their parents doing, in their various families. So a parent that is an idol worshiper and a child is also is also saying that the parents are doing, automatically when they get to a larger society and see something like that, they are being invited to join something like that, it should be a kind of opportunity for them to continue whatever they have seen in their various family. So home is one of the things that are responsible for establishing and making people to join cult groups in various tertiary institutions today. Number two is the influence of peer group. This is one particular reason why people join cult group today. Many students came from religious and good background, but because of the influence, because of lack of self-control, the influence of their peers, of the group, made them to join cult group. A child that doesn't know how to say no or how to control him or herself, from doing bad things, automatically, when such a child is advised to join a group, or probably seeing what the members or his friends are enjoying from that group, automatically, with that lack of self-control, that child, that student, will join a cult group. And this is one area where some of our students, some of our children today are getting it wrong when they get to the university. Because of that lack of self-control, because of that lack of understanding what the reason why they're in school is, they follow their friends to do what they are doing. And most of the time, some of them are members of cult groups, and follow them to join that particular group. And there's no how, once you make yourself available to such a group of students, or you are exposed to such a group of students, automatically there is no going back than to join them. So here, what is important is to ensure that our level of self-control is very, very high, and we learn how to say no in some cases, and also know the kind of friends we work along with. Those that cannot, add to your academic value, you drop them and follow those who can help you to develop your life academically. Number three is on social decadence. This is also responsible for some of the things we are experiencing in our society today. As you can see, when we say social decadence, we are talking about social vices. A lot of things have gone wrong in our society today. People don't see the need to stop some of those things. They have seen it as a normal way of life. It has become part of us. It has become our culture, especially in Africa here, whereby people will be doing wrong thing, and they know quite well that what they are doing is wrong. But because of the fact that they have taken it as their culture, they continue in that particular line. So a lot of things going on in our society today are also making people to establish and join a cult group. For instance, the high rate of poverty, unemployment, and so on and so forth. These are some of the things that made people led people into joining one group of cultists or the other, because they want to make their aims meet. They want to get things, the food to their table as well. So many of them, because of all these things, and they have seen it as a quick way of making it in life. Joining a cult group, they know that a lot of things are there for them to do, like robbery, like intimidating and harassment of people in their area, in the school environment, and some of the things that are going on in our society today, and they made people to join cult group. Number 4 is on social identity. In our various tertiary institutions today, when we go around, we discover that many of them that are members of cults, one cult group or the other, join because of need for social identity. What do I mean by social identity? Is social recognition. For them to be recognized by the people in the university environment that they have the power and they can do whatever they like and get away with it. So this particular thing is making a lot of students to join because they want people to see them as being powerful. They want people to see them and fear them because of what they have, because of the group they belong to. So joining this particular group automatically, it has that advantages for them, according to them, that when you join, you have some level of respect among the students, even among the lecturers in the university, and some of them, especially those that are lagging behind academically, they will want to join so as to show the university environment that they have the power and they have to be feared, because automatically that particular group or being a member of that group will confer on them some level of respect among the students, among the lecturer, because they will be feared. So that is why they join. So social identity is one of the things that led people into joining cults, a group, or becoming a member of cultists. Then the last one under the reasons for establishing and joining cult groups is parental neglect. All this we have talked about, they are all boiled down to parental neglect. Some parents don't see the need to look after their words, or let me say their children, when they get to university. They believe that they are mature enough and they can take care of themselves. Whereas the university environment is an environment where you have a lot of hyenas, a lot of lions, a lot of eagles around. A responsible parent should, as a matter of fact, know what and how their children are doing in the university. A parent shouldn't say that, oh, because you are there now in university, you are mature, you can take care of yourself, and abandon them with all the affairs of the university. This particular action has led many students into joining cult groups, because there is nobody to look after them. There is no one they can exchange ideas with. There is no one they can go to advise them when this issue of joining cult groups, became issue to them. Because we have seen from the research and from the experience that many of them, when they need their parents to be there for them, to advise them on what they should do as next line of action, they were not there. So many of them were forced to do it after looking around for who to, have discussion with, who can, actually save them from people that are pursuing their life to join God's group. So the parents, that parental neglect is something that is really giving many of them out to cult group today in our various tertiary institutions. Like I said, parents should not say because somebody is, or a child is in university and that particular child is mature enough to take care of him or herself. It shouldn't be. A parent should always know how their children are faring in the university when they are there. And by doing that, when they also have problems to share with their parents, they will be, feel at home. They will have ample opportunity to discuss that with their parents, and with that, they will be able to solve the problem. But when the parents are not there, automatically, some of them will do that. And some, ordinarily, some students, they need to be followed all the time because they have tendency of doing what they feel they want to do as a result of lack of self-discipline and self-control. So, but when the parent is there, you know your child, you know your children, and you know what they can do. So automatically, when you know them, you like that, to be a kind of child or children like that, you should be able to follow them. When you know your child, or you know your children, you should be able to follow them, to know how they are going about their academic pursuit in the university. So these are some of the reasons why some students join a course group in the university or in our tertiary institution. Like I said, the second phase of it, because we are taking both with 3 and with 4 together today, the second phase of it is on the consequences of cultism. Like I said, unlike what happened in 1953 when the first cult group came into existence, the Pirate Confraternity, they had the target, their aim was to abolish elitism. And like I said, these are a group of students that were known for having higher academic performance, and they wanted to use their level of education, their level of talent, to abolish that elitism in the school and to also fight for the emancipation of the Nigerian students at the University College Ibadan at that particular time. But the subsequent ones we have up to today, they have digressed completely from what we had then. And you can see, there is no how anyone, like I said in first class, there's no how you join cult group. You should know that there will be a day when the nemesis will surely catch up with you. So these are some of the things that will happen, whether you like it or not. No one can go scot-free for being a member of a cult group. And these are some of the things that will happen. It could be that all of them could happen to them at the same time. Some of them want, some of them two. But there is nothing good about it, like I've said earlier on, nothing good about being a member of a cult group. So let us look at some of the consequences that may arise from being a member of cult group or from joining cult activity. Number one is expulsion from the school. Many of them were expelled up to today because there is the law, the bill has been passed, there is a law as for the to punish whoever that joins court group. And today, various universities, once you are caught, or seen participating in court-related activities, the school will expel you and you'll be handed over to the police. Just like about 3 or 4 weeks ago, some group of students, numbering like 200 of them, were arrested at the back of a particular rock in the village close to University of Abuja campus. They were there, engaging in court activities. They were conducting the initiation of new members, and the villagers there, got the information, went there, they were all arrested and handed them over to the police. And as we speak now, the university authorities of University of Abuja has expelled all of them. So meaning that as a student, once you are expelled from the school, you cannot go back to that particular school, and no matter the number of years you must have spent in that particular school, will become a waste. So this is one of the things that will happen to whoever that is a member of cult group. For instance, if somebody has used 5 years, let's say 4 years in the university for a course that is just 4 years, just a little bit to graduate from the school, and you are, caught engaging in court activity, automatically that particular child will be expelled. And the number of years that have been spent by that particular student will become a waste. And such a student cannot start again from that school, probably in another school. And that is one big implication of being a member of a cult group. Number 2 is violence. We have seen also from experience that, like I said, cult activity in the school today are synonymous to violence. Nothing good about it anymore. Virtually every month, you must have a report of violence in one school or the other in Nigeria as a result of court rivalry. The groups of different courts that we have, they always exhibit, that show of power, among themselves. And virtually every month, we hear such a thing in our various tertiary institutions that has happened between one particular court group and the other. Then number 3 is killing of innocent students. This is another thing that will happen anytime there is violence, or anytime there is a kind of show of superiority, among these court groups. They always, waste lives of innocent students and innocent staff in the university, because they always engage themselves in use of dangerous weapons such as gun, cutlasses, and some other things. While wielding these things, while shooting here and there, they always, gun down some students that are not even members of cult groups in the university. And this has happened many times that students who are not members of cult groups, will be killed, some staffs who are not members, who are on their own, trying to carry out their normal activities in the school will be mistakenly shot, and from there, many of them, their lives will be wasted. And these are some of the things that we can see as consequences of cultism. Number 4 is disruption of academic calendar. Like I said, anytime there is violence, and it takes lives of students or staff or even the members of rival course groups, many of a time like this, university cannot continue with academic programs, because once a life is lost or lives are lost, or once they continue or start their violence, the properties of the universities will be vandalized, the properties of the visitors to the universities will be to the school will be vandalized, and even the lives of people will also be touched as well. And as a result of that, university cannot continue with academic calendar. If a university has stipulated that a particular semester or academic, semester or session will end in 4 months or in 8 months, and as a result of the violence, automatically the school will shut down, and it will affect the academic calendar. And that is one area where some university making it to say that number of years that a student is supposed to use is extended. And the last one is security threats. The issue of cultism in Nigeria today has generated a lot of security threats. Just like what we have in Nigeria today, all the regions have different social crises or crises they are facing, especially in the southwestern states of Nigeria, in Lagos, Ogun, and some other places, where we have cults or cultists, engaging themselves in violence activities virtually every week. Especially in Lagos, Ikorodu, part of Lagos, as an example, we have groups of cult members there, and they always engage themselves. And because of that, it has now become a kind of security threat in the west, in the southwestern state of Nigeria. Because of this particular thing that we're talking about, the top hierarchy of the police has established a unit to tackle cultism in that particular part of Nigeria. So it is now a security threat, not only within the university environment. It has gone beyond the university environment. It has gone to the larger society when it starts engaging themselves in violence activities like this. Virtually all houses around will, close their doors, the shops will close down, businesses will close down, and it has now become a full-fledged security threat to the country. So, inshallah, today we are going to stop here, and the assignment I'm going to give you today is on the consequences of cultism. The assignment. On our assignment today, we're going to look at states and explain 3 consequences of 3 consequences of cultism in Nigeria. Okay, this is going to be our assignment for today, and inshallah in our next class, just like I said, we have taken a look at week 3 and week 4 topics, and in our next class, inshallah, we continue, and there we shall be looking at the preventive measures against cultism, inshallah. So as for today, let's stop here for now. Thank you, class.